Also, one final thing before we move on. Like the one thing that I do really like that they've done in Wilds, although I don't think they've utilized it very well, is the skill split.
Skill split.
Like,
Oh, what for the armors and
yeah,
Oh yeah, it's just nonsense.
I
Honestly.
can't lie.
I don't mind it. Like,
What Sunbreak?
ruined
The
it.
skills?
Yeah,
Because I didn't really go into World too much, right? So
Mhm.
my previous understandings of like skills and everything,
okay.
you with skills, fucking strict, bruv.
Yeah,
Compared to Rise, you could be almost godlike if you get the right fucking skills decoration.
yeah.
In GU, like, man,
In
gotta
World,
the level before you even get the skill.
Yeah.
in World, it was pretty much like what it was in Rise.
Yeah, it's basically the same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like I think it wasn't as broken, I guess.
Yeah, you don't get as many skills in World
Yeah.
until Fatalis.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say.
Yeah.
Where until you you defeat Fatalis and you have Fatalis's armor, like then that's when it gets a little bit broken because
Yeah.
Fatalis's armor has a armor set skill where it basically adds 2 levels. I think it's 2 levels
I don't know.
onto all your
What, all the skills you already
skills.
have?
all
Yeah.
the skills that you have maxed out.
Okay, that's a bit mad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's
like
quite a
for
lot.
example, like
That is a
with artillery, you can only have like 3 levels of that, right? Yeah. You'll get 5.
Oh, fuck!
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's pretty strong. It invalidated all the other armor.
Yeah.
In Rise, they did less of that. Like a lot of armor is still useful end game. Apart from maybe when you start to get to the Risen armor stuff like that, that's when it gets a lot stronger.
Yeah.
But I think that's like, I mean, I don't think it's like that much stronger. It's just a bit stronger.
In Sunbreak, it was sort of like an opposite to what they did in World, in the sense that you could still get a lot of skills in World, right? But you're obviously limited to whatever they can give you, and then like how many of those skills levels you can add on, unless you max them out. But in Rise and Sunbreak, it's like the other way around in the sense that you can add a shit ton of skills, right? With the with where you do the anomaly stuff and changing.
Yeah. Even
add
before
it.
that, you get loads of
Yeah,
skills.
before
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But like
even
that
before,
added it on
yeah.
even more so.
Yeah, that made
it
it even more crazy.
Yeah. But then you don't get those extra levels or whatever. It's like that. That's how I sort of seen it.
From the just from the Fatalis thing, or
Yeah.
that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Okay, there's another thing I wanted to ask you. On what, like decorations? Could you create your own decorations?
In World,
No.
In
That's
World,
what makes Rise fucking stupid, bruh.
yeah.
And that's when you guys were talking about the anomalies. Like a lot of the higher level jewels get only through the anomaly.
Yeah,
quest,
but
the material for it.
but I mean, you can. So I think you can. You can
really-
make decorations in World, but
Oh yeah, you can.
You
But
can.
only Pacific ones, not
yeah,
many, not the good
and
ones.
it's the same. And it's
This
the
is what
same.
I mean.
in,
Like Rise, you can
No, it's-
tailor.
It's the same in Rise. Well, in Sunbreak more so because you can't get those super strong decorations. You can only.
Like
Well, you can get them, but it's
Yeah, but-
RNG. It's RNG. It's not like you can just craft it and get that exact one. There is RNG.
no,
in it.
no.
Decorations,
You
yeah.
guys are mixing up decorations.
I'm
And
not talking about
pure crafting.
talisman.
Oh,
I'm not talking pure
I
crafting.
think-
Yeah,
oh,
I'm talking
right,
about just
right, right,
decorations.
right,
Full
right,
stop.
Yeah.
You can go how crazy you can make these builds, bruv.
Yeah, because you can just craft
But-
them, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
I think it's fine that way. It makes sense for Monster now. That's
love
what's
it.
been
I
people
love
But-
crafting decorations.
But like, but I don't think you could get the.
it's the talisman. Talismans are random in
Yeah,
in
no,
Rise,
but what I'm
in
saying
World
is-
you make the talismans.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is in Sunbreak, like making the decorations, like you can't get like the super strong ones.
No,
in
you
that
can
sense.
make every single decoration in that game.
Oh,
You're talking
that's
about
what I'm
pure
thinking.
I'm trying to
crafting.
remember. I'm just trying to remember. Oh, I think that's what I'm
Yeah,
thinking.
pure crafting
yeah,
is
yeah,
random,
I
but
know.
that's something
Yeah,
different.
that's
yeah,
different. Yeah,
But
yeah,
even
I'm
then,
not talking about that.
there's still trade-offs in
Yeah,
pure
yeah.
crafting.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
true.
yeah.
That's true. That's true.
So-
But no, that's one thing I loved
Yeah.
about Rise, man. Like I'll just be making them.
There's a lot more customization, definitely.
We're
in there.
sidetracking because the original thing was about wild you're asking and the skill system in this game as the last thing before we move on.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was
And I
me.
think it's
That was-
very arbitrary. I think I said this before. Like they were talking about weapons, skills related to weapons will be on the weapons itself. So let's say artillery for gun lance and charge blade, for I guess guard for lance, switch axe for focus,
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah, I can't remember what it's called. But the one that helps you switch, guys, you can do
Oh,
it.
rapid
morph.
morph.
Rapid morph, that's it. But that's
Yeah.
it's not the case because you have things like attack on the weapon, you have things like crit on the weapon, elemental attacks on the weapons, but then you have weakness exploit on the armor,
Yeah.
and then burst on armor. So it's like who decided what to go on what? It's obviously not just weapons. It's based on however they feel like they want to do it.
Can I be honest?
They probably had 2 bins, and whoever
Specifically
makes the shot.
Yeah.
Specifically, you saying that, I just feel like they so that you can't make again like broken builds.
But you can.
You can. I'm not saying that you can't, but okay, super broken builds.
I don't know. I think you still can. Like,
But what?
it's-
Hear me
it's-
out. Wait.
okay,
Let me.
okay, I'll let you
What I'm
finish
saying. What I'm saying is like, you know how you just mentioned there. Why is like attack and crit eye on the weapons, but then weakness exploit and burst on the armor? Like, I feel like they did that because otherwise you could just put again. It would just go back to it basically being this super broken builds that you can make where you can just have maxed out attack, maxed out crit eye, all of that shit. That's why they've moved attack and crit eye. And I'm not saying that that's why they've done that, but it just seems like that's why they moved like the attack and the crit eye skills and crit boost over to the weapon side instead. Because obviously with the weapon side, the weapons have limited decoration slots compared in the sense like if it's a weapon skill that you're gonna put, you can only put so many weapon skills because you might have only like 1 or 2 slots. You know what I mean?
Okay, fair enough. What I'm gonna say, if they really wanted to do that, all of those attack-based skills on your armor would be on your weapons then, because then you have to fight for those only in your weapons.
Yeah.
Or they will take attack on all of those and put them on your armor.
That's
So you have
exactly
to
what I
fight
was
against
saying.
the attack and weakness exploit, but they haven't done that because they still want you to boost your attack as much as they want. So it doesn't matter. It's still the same. It's just in a different way. That's literally it. Now, I'm theorizing. I have no proof of this, but what I imagine is they realize there's not that many skills related to weapons. For lance, you have guard up. If it's only 2 decorations on your weapon, that's nothing. That's nothing.
Yeah.
So they needed
Okay.
to add attack, element, all the stuff to weapon. Otherwise, there's nothing they could do.
Okay, I
But
see
then
what you're saying.
In
Yeah.
the end, it turns into the same thing because you just all the attack stuff there and then all the attack stuff there. That's literally it. Am I wrong?
No,
all
you're
the
not.
armors, that's the best. Burst, weakness exploit, flare back in the day before all the issues of that.
Yeah.
That's literally it.
Yeah.
You're not thinking about recovery. You're not thinking about all this other stuff. No.
Nah.
That's what we were thinking it is. Stamina, recovery, all this utility stuff on the armor, but that's not the case.
No.
It's not the case.
You very
No,
like
it's true. It's true.
I think the only sort of utility skills that you can use for all builds, like regardless of which weapon, is maybe evade extender and evade window. Apart from those 2 skills, like I don't see any other skills sort of that are used across the board for
No.
all weapons. Do you know what I mean?
They're only ever used if you have like a level 1 slot, which they're never attack based for a reason. Because they want you to slot in the extra random ones
so
because
maybe-
if
maybe-
they're not,
yeah.
people won't do it.
Yeah,
and that's
yeah.
also why there's no level 3. Have you noticed on armor, there's only there's no variance in decorations. There's only one level. If it's level 1, there's no level 2 version, there's no level 3 version at all.
What do you mean?
If it's a recovery skill, there's only the level 1 recovery skill. You don't have you don't have a 2 decoration.
Oh,
No, but
yeah.
some of them do though.
No, they don't.
Oh, in terms of do you mean I'm thinking of all decorations,
the
but you're talking
decorations-
specifically about utility
Armor.
skills.
The armor,
Yeah.
they don't have variations. They only have one.
Okay.
The reason they only have one, because imagine you're fighting recovery 3 with weakness exploit or burst. No one's gonna pick recovery 3.
Oh yeah,
They're not gonna do that, and they know
yeah,
that. That's
yeah.
why they didn't do it.
Yeah, but funny you say that because when Zoshir came out, there was a build at the time, and I think a lot of people still do use this build because it does bring a lot more comfort into your builds where they can still be fairly strong, and give you a bit more utilities, and it's actually using recovery
feeling.
up.
Yeah.
Because Zoshir's armor set has a specific skill where it's like super recovery. I think
Helps
it
you
used to be
recover.
called in previous games,
Yeah.
where like basically, you know, your health bar. If you have this skill, your health, I think, recovers naturally only up until if you have a bit of red or whatever it may be, it will stop at that red basically, right? But with this skill, it allows you to recover past the red.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So what other skills does it give?
What the?
The armor.
No, I think
Because
that's.
if it was just recovery, no one would run it.
Funnily enough, people do run it though. That's the thing.
But it's not just recovery though.
I'm trying to remember. There's.
It gets offensive stuff as well.
I'm gonna have to look this up because there is another thing that I think if you run any of the Guardian armor pieces, is that there's a specific there's a specific skill that you get when you're hunting in Wyveria, in where the
that one that gives you that unique skill.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unique skills.
So you get Agitator, you get Counter Strike, you get Elemental Absorption.
Oh, you're just talking.
Get...
okay. So you were talking about like the skills that just come with the armor.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. I couldn't tell you that because I don't know them off the top of my head.
People want the Agitator. I'm telling you, people want the Agitator. Why? It's an offensive skill.
Yeah.
It you create an attack.
Yeah.
It's not just the recovery speed.
No.
Yeah. 100%.
And so it just feeds into more.
Right. Yeah. Sorry, I misunderstood what you were trying to ask me there.
This system will. I'm pretty sure they realize as well. This system will only work when the expansion comes out, because then there's enough skills that they'll add in because of all the other armors to make up for the fact there's not enough skills.
Yeah.
Because imagine it was just like I was saying, if it was just on the weapons, if it was just weapon-based stuff, they wouldn't have enough. But let's say it was the other way, where all the offensive stuff, literally even the attack ones were all in the weapons. On the armor, all the armor would have the same skills, and people are already saying all the armor already have the same skills.
Yeah.
So it'll just be even more. So it's not going to work until the expansion comes, and they're like, okay, now we have enough skills to make every armor fully unique. Because when I'm looking at the skills, there's so many of the same skills in every single armor.
Yeah. I agree with you on that
same.
one. The big one being obviously the Gore armor set, because that's still like in meta right now. Like,
yeah, whatever has offense is king.
Yeah.
And there's so many armors that don't and just have random skills that no one cares about.
Yeah.
Stamina skills, and so many armors have that, and it's just like,
no,
man.
I agree with you on that.
So it's interesting.
I did wish that this split that they basically put was gonna
fix it.
Yeah.
I thought it was sick. I was all on it.
Yeah,
right now.
same.
At first, until you
actually get your hands on it and experience what it's like.
digging in.
Yeah, it is a little bit sad. I can't lie in that sense, because I was hoping that I would be able to use more sort of utility skills. And I'm not saying that I can't use them, because it's there for me to use if I want to. But then it makes you feel like, why am I doing this when I can literally finish this monster off a lot quicker with better skills that will actually allow me to go and finish the monster off quicker. Like, for example, I was it this morning or the other day? I think I might have told. I told T this. Where literally I was hunting Arkveld. I did it in like 5 minutes. And if and this is with a meta build, right? Yeah, I don't think it's the meta build. It might be the meta build from like a couple patches ago or something like that. So, because I haven't updated my Charge Blade builds in that sense, but literally, bro.
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Pretty good.
Yeah, for a tempered Arcveld, 5-star, all of that. Apparently, that is what the speed. It's around that. For speedrunners. But and in my head, I was just thinking, if I did like a actual comfort build that I would like to use, bro, I'd still be here hunting this thing.
And think of it, all of the utility skills that you'd even add on, there's gonna be level 1 ones, because you have extra 1 slots. That's literally it.
They're just there and to fill up.
Yeah, no. Imagine level 3 recovery. No one's gonna want level 3 recovery. Why would you want level 3 recovery over burst? No one's doing that.
No, 100%.
No one.
But funnily enough, I've got recovery up in my.
Yeah, level 1.
No, it's at 3.
Oh.
It's maxed out.
No, but you got level 1 decorations. I'm saying.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Right. Sorry. Yeah, my bad. Yeah.
I'm telling you, you're not running that.
No. No. If I had to pick out, yeah. But I mean, I am running.
Yeah,
3 levels of it. I'm running 3 levels of the skill. Yeah,
because the decorations is 1.
Yeah.
If the decorations are only 3 against burst, against Really's exploit.
Well, in a sense,
counter attack.
No, but I mean. So, funnily enough,
are you doing that though?
No.
Yeah,
but what I was gonna say is though, like, funnily enough, is obviously in this game, burst requires a level 3 slot in it. For 1 level and everything. But if I had multiple level 3 slots, burst is only good up to a certain extent on the levels of how many obviously you're gonna use. Like, a lot of people will say you're better off just running 1 level of burst, depending on what weapon you're using and everything as well. You're better off just running 1 level of burst and maybe like max out the agitator instead or something like that.
Another Texel.
Sorry.
Another attack skill.
Yeah, I know, right? No, I'm not. I'm not
making
going
his point.
against you. I'm not going against you. I'm not going against you.
Man has added extra to.
Yeah,
to your point.
I'm going with you on this.
okay,
I've not been disagreeing with you at any point.
In that sense,
I've not been disagreeing with you at all on this.
Okay.
I hate the fact that the way they portrayed how the skill system was gonna be, like we would be able to use more utility skills, but we haven't. We just haven't. But then again, like meta is always going to be more offensive focused than utility focused, though. That's the thing.
Because the game's balance allows it.
Yeah,
And they allowed it by having those attack ones on the armor. If it wasn't there, you have no option.
That's
But
true.
they're not going to do that.
No. But I think
it's not crafted that
then
way.
like a lot of people would complain about that. Then though, that's the thing.
yeah, that'll be the next complaint.
Yeah, that would be that would have been the complaint instead
Yeah.
of what we're talking about now.
Yeah, facts.
But they need to. That's why balance has gotten. That's why it comes back to the old games. It was easier for them to balance in the old games in that sense, because it was so restricted that you had to be clear on what you wanted for your armor. And in the new gen, I think they're struggling. We've gone through what 3 games, 2 expansions, and they still not really understand how to do it.
Hasn't got the sweet spot.
Yeah.
No,
at
so
all.
they're struggling. They're struggling.
Yeah.